Hey there, future engineer. Your mission here in campaign mode is to prove you're a true master of automation and logistics. You'll be facing 50 challenges across 5 unique worlds. Each level has one goal. Alright, let's start by showing you the ropes. This is your toolkit. But before we dive into building, perfect. Now onto the important stuff. You see those two structures on the map? They're called the world spawner and the receiver. The spawner spits out raw materials from some mysterious robot dimension. Your job in each level is to connect the spawner and receiver. To transport items, you'll use the conveyor belt. For this tutorial, your task is simple. To build a conveyor, to make turns, you can see the anchor shortcut in the building details window. Alright, enough talk. Time to put down some belts and get items flowing from spawner to receiver. Fantastic, you've got potential, but don't think you're off the hook yet. There's still a long way to go, and I'll be here to keep you on track and maybe crack a few jokes. Hey there! Ready to dive into your very first recipe? Like I mentioned before, but how do we process raw materials? Machines like cutters and press machines transform raw materials, but how do you know which machine to use and with which item? Recipes are like blueprints that tell you what. Let's walk through a simulation. See that the goal for this level is to deliver 20 iron bars in 1 minute? Each recipe includes the required input item, the input rate needed to keep production steady, the machine required, the production rate, and the icon of the produced item. In this case, we can read the recipe like this. We need 60 units of iron per minute, fed into a press machine that processes those 60 units to produce 60 iron bars per minute. All right, let's put this into practice. Open up the building menu again. You'll see a new category there called Machinery. Once you have the press machine selected, go ahead and place the press machine in the... Great! Now that your press machine is correctly set up, just connect its output to the receiver and the input to the world spawner using conveyor belts like you did before. Easy, right? Awesome. But wait, nothing's moving. Let's fix that by starting the simulation. To test your setup, go to the Time Control menu. Here, you can start the simulation to see everything come to life, and just remember, if you... All right? Hello again, engineer. Ready to meet a new tool? Here's an example. Imagine you have a conveyor belt moving 120 units of iron per minute. You need half of that flow for recipe X and the other half for recipe Y. You can use a 1x2 splitter to divide the 120 flow into two outputs of 60 each. All right, let's try it in action. In this level, your objective is to deliver 120 units of wood plank per minute. First, click on the objective to check out the recipe. Great. As you can see, a cutter produces only 60 units per minute. First, as you can see, this spawner produced the split. Now, place a 1x2 splitter in the... Awesome. Now, connect two cutters to the splitter's outputs. This setup will give you a total production of 120 units per minute because each cutter is handling 60 units. We want to connect them directly in front of the splitter, as this saves space and, in some cases, nice work. And here's a... Perfect. Now let's start the simulation and watch your setup in action. Go ahead, hit play, and see the splitter magic happen. All right, let's dive deeper into splitters. Now, don't worry, go ahead. All right. Notice how each recipe uses iron as the input item and has a required rate of... Much faster, right? Place the splitter directly in front of the spawner. And if you haven't noticed yet, here's a little tip. We want it if we add it. Great. Now each based on Awesome. Now let's connect each machine output directly to the receiver without mixing items on the same conveyor belt. Perfect. Now, start the simulation and let's see how it all runs. Uh-oh, looks like we've hit a snag. We're using a lot of resources on this layout. Optimization is a big part of automated, so we need to tweak things to stay within budget. Let's start by merging the conveyor belts from the iron ingot and iron bar outputs. Each produces, we can't, if some, use it. Nice work. We're back within budget. Hit play again and finish the level. And that's a wrap for now, and next up, we're diving into the campaign. So take everything you've learned